AEW Dynamite Results February 16, 22. We are live from Nashville, Tennessee at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. CM Punk is in the center of the ring and he's regaling us his ECW on Sci-Fi promo that ends with "I'm better than you" and lets us know that he's inspired decades of wrestlers. Punk says MJF walks like him and talks like him, but he will never think like him. Punk said he's proud of MJF, but in reality, he's still Shitty Little Max, from Shitty Little Long Island. As a Long Islander, I get it. Punk now gets to choose the time and date for his rematch with MJF and he's choosing AEW Revolution on March 6, from Orlando, Florida. Maybe Punk wants a cage match? Nah, Wardlow can probably climb a cage and MJF can run away. We need MJF to learn a lesson. Punk looks back on the toughest matches of his career and he keeps thinking Piper in Portland, so he's going to think of Roddy Piper, and he wants MJF to know if he will be his Valentine. CM Punk proposes him versus MJF in a dog collar match, a la Roddy Piper versus Greg Valentine from Starrcade 1983. Punk invites MJF out and here he comes, and he's not happy. Punk then produces the picture of the greatest night of MJF's life, the picture of a young MJF meeting his hero, CM Punk. The canvas won't be stained with MJF's shitty spray tan, it will be stained with his blood. MJF for the first time, is speechless, and he walks off. Great opening segment. We're kicking off with a banger. Up next is Bryan Danielson versus Lee Moriarty. A three-way tag match for AEW Revolution is planned for the tag team titles, and we will find out in the next few weeks just who exactly will be joining Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Match number 1. Bryan Danielson vs. Lee Moriarty. I feel like this will be one of those matches when people look back, they'll say that's when I realized how good Lee Moriarty is. Dude, Clarissa explains it all is in the front row. Awesome. Danielson fakes a code of honor handshake, and we are off. Danielson and Moriarty trade top wrist locks and Danielson rolls through for a Kimura before getting to the ropes. Danielson denies the clean break and slaps Moriarty for good measure. Moriarty rolls through for an ankle lock and Danielson sits out for a leg ride, and locks in a Romero special, into a Dragon Sleeper. Moriarty rolls through looking for the Border City stretch. The what? Jr. Moriarty follows Danielson into the ropes with a running European uppercut. Danielson delivers about a half a dozen kicks to Moriarty who's trapped in the ropes, and then knees a prone Moriarty in the face, much to the dismay of the referee. Danielson destroying Moriarty in the corner with some more kicks, and we are knee-deep in the picture-in-picture. Moriarty fights from underneath but Danielson with a headlock suplex for a 2 count as Moriarty bridges out. Danielson delivers 2 knees to the ribs but Moriarty bridges up again. Moriarty and Danielson are locked in an upside-down 50-50ths position delivering strikes to each other. Moriarty rolls through in full guard but Danielson sweeps him and locks in the Lee Bell lock. Moriarty escapes to the ropes. The crowd is on their feet. Moriarty catches Danielson with an arm trap Sato suplex and we are trading strikes in the center of the ring. JR reminds us that Danielson wanted violence, and Moriarty is delivering. Moriarty with a backslide for a 2 count as Danielson tries his own, Moriarty flips out. Danielson with a palm strike to Moriarty and it seems to have woken him up. Spirit of the fight? Moriarty with a lariat but Danielson traps his arms and hits an overhead belly to belly. Elbows. Moriarty locks in the Border City stretch. Danielson fights to his feet. Regalplex. Yikes. Right on the top of his head. Moriarty is down and Danielson stalks him. Psycho knee. Danielson waves off the ref. Danielson grabs both of Moriarty's arms and he's stomping his face into the ground. Moriarty is already out, but Danielson locks in the triangle choke for good measure. Referee has no choice but to call it. This one is over. Danielson hits the double bicep post along Nate Diaz. Classic. Winner, Bryan Danielson. Danielson has the mic. Danielson came out here to teach Moriarty a thing or two about violence. Did he pass? Or did he fail? That's why I don't trust the American public with anything. Haha. You and me both, buddy. Danielson wants an answer from Jon Moxley. Almost on cue, Wild Thing hits and here comes Jon Moxley. Moxley says he was a lot like the kids in the AEW locker room, he was young, angry, poor, with nothing to lose. 10 years ago, Moxley wrestled Danielson on a small independent show in Ohio, but he came up short. Getting a taste of being in the ring with the best, made Moxley want more, made Moxley better. Moxley has never beaten Bryan Danielson. Moxley was excited when Danielson showed up and everyone else was scared, but he wanted to slay the dragon. Moxley started thinking how awesome teaming up with Danielson could be, the destruction they could create, what they could give back to AEW. Moxley couldn't think of one good reason to decline Danielson's offer. Is the only reason that Danielson wanted to team with Moxley that he doesn't want to fight Moxley? If that's the case, then Moxley has already beaten Bryan Danielson. Moxley isn't saying yes, but he's not saying no. Moxley doesn't stand side by side with anybody unless he bleeds with them first. The crowd is standing for that. Give me all the Danielson versus Moxley and give it to me now. Keith Lee says we're not saving the best for last, he's the first entrant into the Face of the Revolution ladder match and he's the limitless one. Lee has his eyes set on the TNT title. Match number 2. Face of the Revolution qualifying match, Wardlow vs Max Caster. Speaking of the Face of the Revolution ladder match, here we are. I can't wait to hear what Caster has to say here. We all know the Sitch Boy, you not a man, just MJF's bitch boy. I feel like he's going to pay for that. Caster is trying to stay on the outside and not get within Wardlow's grasp, but that doesn't last long. We're on the outside and Wardlow is just throwing large grown men around like they're loaves of bread. Wardlow rolls Caster back inside the ring and Caster rolls out on the far side. Wardlow isn't happy and he goes to spear Caster, but Caster moves and Wardlow eats the steps. And again. Caster with a back suplex on the apron and he rolls Wardlow in for the quick 2 count. Trading right hands in the center of the ring, but Caster walks right into Wardlow's spine buster, very Farouk-esque. Bowens pulls Caster out and jaws with Wardlow, which allows Caster to grab the chain. Back in the ring and Wardlow is looking for the powerbomb symphony, but Spears is distracting the referee as Caster hits Wardlow in the face with the chain. Caster up top looking for the mic check, nails it. 1, 2, no. That one got me. Wardlow is pissed and he throws Caster into Bowens. 1 powerbomb. 2 powerbombs. 3 powerbombs. Boot on the chest. That's all she wrote. This is exactly what it needed to be. Winner, Wardlow. Bowens jumps Wardlow from behind after the match and he gets drilled with a powerbomb for good measure. Shawn Spears does nothing to help, then delivers a few chair shots for good measure. We now have Keith Lee and Wardlow in the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Dr. Britt Baker says Mercedes better finish the job, because that's why she brought her here. It's time to murder a bitch. Mercedes Martinez. That was stiff. Holy shit, it's John Kreese from Cobra Kai. This is the greatest crossover of all time. Fresh off of his defense of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship title against Lance Archer in a Texas death match last week, here is Hangman Page in the ring with Tony Schiavone. Here's Adam Cole. That was fast. Tony, get the hell out of my ring, gets the loudest boos of the night so far. It's a shame that Page's title reign is going to come to an end pretty soon. Page wonders how Cole feels when he saw his friends build a wrestling empire without him. It must be weird for Cole to be in the ring with his Bullet Club buddy and Ring of Honor roommate. Cole hasn't heard anyone mention Page's name in weeks, whether the Young Bucks or the Dark Order. Page says he's not perfect, but Cole doesn't have the best record with friendship either. Page says Cole makes a lot of mistakes, for example, getting in the ring with Page. Cole says Paige is an unbelievable wrestler and champion, but Paige has been the other Adam whenever they're in the same promotion together. Paige wants to fight. Cole says he has love and admiration for Paige and someday they will fight for the title, and it will be man to man. When that day comes it will be filled with respect, and may the best man win. Cole and Paige shake hands and that's that. Here's Redragon. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are back. All three men beat down Paige as security tries to break them apart. The Dark Order hits the ring while Redragon and Cole bail. Ten seems to have just lost his mind and destroyed every security guard for no reason. Cole seems a bit worried. Darby Allin says wrestling is therapy to him and he knows Sammy feels the same way. Sammy says whatever happened in the past is in the past and this is a new Sammy Guevara. Darby says he needs this tonight. Match number 3. The Inner Circle, Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, versus Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. Chris Jericho is monster over in Tennessee, and Hager is in the best shape of his life here. Eddie Kingston is here. The Mad King is back. Outlaw Inc. God forgives. Outlaw Inc. don't. The crowd gives Kingston a warm welcome and it's great to have him back. Jericho and Santana jaw at each other to start and Santana gets slapped in the face. Clothesline by Santana and he's in Jericho's face in the corner. Hard chops by Santana and a drop kick to the back of a seated Jericho. Quick tag to Ortiz and we get some classic IFBO double teamwork ending with an assisted moonsault for 2. Fisherman suplex by Ortiz but Jericho comes back with a facebuster. Double shoulder tackle to Ortiz, and Hager is trying to talk Ortiz off the ledge mid-match. Hager is a monstrous human being, by the way. Overhead belly-to-belly throw by Hager followed up by a Hager, not a Vader, bomb for a 2 count. Jericho back in and a drop kick to Ortiz. Quick tags between Jericho and Hager. Snap suplex by Jericho to Ortiz and now he's just slapping him around. Ortiz fires up with a clothesline and a hot tag to Santana. Santana clears the ring of Jericho and focuses on the knee of Hager. Jericho out of nowhere with a code breaker. Hager with a big double leg slam for a close 2 count. Hager with an attempted avalanche in the corner but Santana dumps him over the top turnbuckle to the outside. Jericho takes advantage of the situation and hits a facebuster. Jericho thinking lion salt, but Ortiz holds Jericho on the ropes while Santana hits a Russian leg sweep from the second rope. Ortiz with a cannonball to Hager on the outside. Street sweeper on Jericho. 1, 2, no. Assisted cannonball in the corner by Santana but Jericho catches him in midair. Lion tamer in the center of the ring. Santana fighting to get close to the ropes and does. Drop kick to Eddie Kingston on the apron, but Jericho gets clocked by Ortiz from the outside. Back in the ring and a discus lariat by Santana. 1, 2, 3. Winners, Proud and Powerful. Post-match, Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston have to be separated. Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and Redragon are in the back on the Cutler cam. The Bucks and Redragon bicker in the back and discuss who's going to be in the triple threat tag team title match at Revolution. Match number 4. No DQ, Thunder Rosa vs Mercedes Martinez. Crees is at ringside. Never trusted him. Thunder Rosa in her Kill Bill inspired outfit wielding a chair and Mercedes Martinez is carrying a pipe. The two brawl early to start and we've got some plunder here at ringside. Martinez gets whipped into the guardrail, but the guardrail collapses, and she hits hard. Thunder Rosa is climbing up an incredibly unsteady guardrail and hits a crossbody block onto the concrete. Mercedes recovers and slams Thunder Rosa on the guardrail and rolls her back into the ring. Mercedes tosses some more chairs and a garbage can into the ring, looking for a slam onto the debris but Thunder Rosa counters with a stunner. Thunder Rosa immediately bails to the outside and sets up a table. Seems like that table is broken. Looking for another table. Can't find it? Back to original table. Now the table is propped up on the apron and the floor and Thunder Rosa is looking for a Death Valley driver. Mercedes fights out and hits a fisherman's buster onto the table, and it was not a fun landing. Mercedes with a chair to the back, and another. Back in the ring, and Mercedes props Thunder Rosa on the top rope. Mercedes looking for a Death Valley driver off the top, but Thunder Rosa counters with a Hurricane Rana, and she lawn darts a trash can into Mercedes' face. Thunder Rosa puts the can over Mercedes' head and delivers a dropkick, but she's close to the ropes and only gets a 2. Mercedes with a spider German suplex off the top rope that looked brutal. Mercedes up top with an elbow drop directly in the face of Thunder Rosa, as it looked like Mercedes was off balance when she jumped. Everything about this match looks painful. Mercedes sets up a mountain of folding chairs and looks for a power bomb, but Thunder Rosa counters with a crucifix bomb. Thunder Rosa picks Mercedes up immediately and hits a Fire Thunder driver on the mountain of chairs for the 3 count. Jeepers Creepers. Winner, Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa picks Mercedes Martinez up after the bell and bows to her, which brings out Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter. Britt Baker isn't happy about the sign of respect, or so it seems. John Kreese told Britt Baker he knew Mercedes was weak, and now finish her. Hayter and Rebel attack Thunder Rosa from behind, but Mercedes Martinez has been handed the pipe. Mercedes doesn't look like she wants to hit Thunder Rosa, so Jamie Hayter and crew attack Mercedes from behind, leaving both Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez laying in the ring. We get an amazing vignette from the House of Black that ends with Brody King asking Malachi Black who they are waiting for. Black and King vs Penta and Pac next week. Jay White says he is the leader of the Bullet Club, and he will show AEW that it is still the era of the Switchblade. Jay White vs Trent Barretta this Friday on Rampage. Match number 5. TNT Championship, Sammy Guevara, C. vs Darby Allin. This match is set for 1 fall or TV time remaining. Is this an angle alert? I honestly can't see either of these guys losing here, and I wouldn't hate a time limit draw. Sammy is wearing both belts, which is funny, because they are both the same belt. The bell rings and both men are kneeling in their respective corners, soaking in the moment. This will be a fun one. Darby extends his hand and Sammy shakes it. The crowd is absolutely on fire for this one, and we haven't done anything yet. We're trading wrist locks and these guys are just so smooth. Sammy flips over Darby but eats a shotgun drop kick for his troubles. Darby up top and Sammy follows him, looking for a Spanish fly off the top, but Darby holds on. Sammy hits a Chicago Skyline and Darby awkwardly and painfully bounces out of the ring, off the apron, and onto the floor like someone was playing plinko with his body on The Price is Right. Sammy drapes Darby over the top rope and hits a senton from the top to Darby's back, and Darby flies out of the ring in an eerily similar fashion to the way he just did. Sammy follows Darby outside and tosses Darby into the guardrail and then back into the ring. Sammy is stepping on Darby's neck over the turnbuckle and now delivering chops in the corner. Sammy goes up top looking for a moonsault, but Darby moves and Sammy lands on his feet. Darby blocks the Irish whip, but Sammy is relentless with the corner chops. Sammy whips Darby from buckle to buckle, but Darby reverses and sends Sammy into the buckle face first. 2 coffin splashes to the back of Sammy and now a chop block. Darby is focusing on the knee that Sammy came up a little gingerly on after missing the moonsault. Darby puts Sammy on the top and hangs him down in the Tree of Woe. Darby now knee bars a hanging Sammy before the referee makes him break it up. Darby goes up top and locks in a single leg crab, but Sammy powers himself up and hits the top rope Spanish fly for 2. Crowd is split 50-50ths here. Sammy teases the crossroads but Darby counters with a figure 4. Sammy rolls through, and now Darby does, and we're back. We're in the center of the ring delivering some open hand palm strikes and the hold is broken. Sammy misses a knee strike in the corner but Darby counter into an over-the-top stunner, but no. Sammy transitions into the GTH but Darby flips out. Darby looks for the cardle but Sammy kicks out at 2. Sammy to the outside and Darby follows him out with a suicide dive, but Sammy times it perfectly and hits a cutter in midair. Sammy sets Darby up on the apron and misses a swanton. Holy S. Darby rolls Sammy back in and looks to position him for the coffin drop. Darby struggling to get to the top, but Andrade's assistant Jose is here to distract him. Sting takes care of Jose, but Andrade cracks Darby with an iPad and crotches him on the top rope. Sammy wakes up and grabs a prone Darby Allin, GTH. 1, 2, 3. That's it, and what a TNT title match. Jeez. Winner, Sammy Guevara. Matt Hardy runs out and attacks a nearly unconscious Darby Allin, but Sammy Guevara makes the save. Andrade with an iPad to the back of Sammy, and Andrade makes it clear he wants the TNT title. Sting and his bat are here, and he's not pleased. Andrade and Matt Hardy celebrate with the stolen TNT titles as we go off the air.